Internet is unstable. I tell you what.
Recording in progress.
Okay, Prabhavit, can you see anything? Can you see the screen? So go. You can read the text 1 onwards. Huh?
All right. Chapter 14. The three modes of material nature. Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again, I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all my knowledge, knowing which all sages have attained the supreme perfections. Text 2. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus, establish one is not born at the time or creation of the disturbed at the time of dissolutions. Text 3, the total material substance called Brahman and is source of a birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings. O son of Bharata. Text 4. It should be understood that all species of the life, O son of Kunti, are the made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving the father. Text 5. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, patience, and ignorance. When the internal living entirely comes in the contact, I can't read the word.
In contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjun, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
All right, thank you.
Keep going if you want to do these.
Yeah, okay. Text 6. Text 6. O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than others is illuminating, and if frees one from the all sinful reaction, those situated in the mode becomes the conditional by sense of a happiness and the knowledge. Text 7. The mode of patience is born unlimited desire and the longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this embodied living entirely bound to material fruitive actions. Text 8. O son of Bharata, know that mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living the entirely. The result of this mode are madness, indolence, and the sleep, which bind the conditional soul. Text 9. O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, patience condition one to fruitive action, and ignorance covering one's knowledge bind one to the madness.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So these 9 verses, summary of them. Mode is a translation of the Sanskrit word guna. Guna means quality, guna means mode, which literally means thread or rope. The 3 modes influence a person's character, behavior, and approach to life. So what does this all mean? Let's look at some examples. If goodness, sattvagun, predominates, then one will aspire for and generally achieve long-term happiness, even if one experiences temporary inconveniences. So when one is somewhat in goodness, it means one is thoughtful, one is going to do things which are going to help longevity in one's life. So it means basically that one is looking for long-term happiness through Satogun, and behavior is good. Person who's overtaken by passion, Rajagun, frantically seeks immediate short-term gain and doesn't expect much more out of life. Right? They're usually people who want to enjoy the senses immediately, and they don't think about tomorrow. They don't think about yesterday. They just want to enjoy now. On the other hand, the person dominated by ignorance, Tamogun, rarely achieves happiness at all. So this person would be somebody who is in a mode of ignorance, would be maybe somebody who likes to, become self-destructive. They like to drink a lot. They happy-go-lucky in that sense. They don't care about today. They don't care about yesterday. They don't care about tomorrow. It's self-destructive, really. You could say those who drink a lot, who are addicted to drink, they could fall into this category. In this way, the material world is populated by living entities in different conditions of life. So everybody has a little bit of everything: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So what is a lesson to learn? Understand what the three modes of nature are. That's a good lesson to learn. Understand what is Sattvagun, what is Rajagun, what is Tamagun. Very important to understand. So what are these? Let's understand what are these three modes. We are eternal living entities, spiritual, the soul. We have nothing to do with these material modes. Because we are transcendental, Sat Chit Anand. Sat means eternal, Chit, knowledge, Anand, happy. That's our nature when we are spiritually minded. How do we become conditioned in this world? Well, this material world, it consists of three modes. When we come in contact with this material world, we become conditioned by these modes. What does condition mean? We get controlled by the three modes, and the living entity is forced to act according to these three modes. So what are these three modes? Let's go through them again. Goodness, passion, ignorance. They basically control us. This is the point. Okay, Malini, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 10. Sometimes the mood of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the moods of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharat, sometimes the mood of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Text 11. The manifestation of the mood of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. Text 12. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mood of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. Text 13. When there's an increase in the mood of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested.
Brilliant. Thank you. The modes compete with one another for supremacy within an individual. So sometimes we want to wake up go into the mode of goodness, but we go back to sleep again, because the modes are fighting with each other to get there. The ignorance is fighting with goodness in that situation. In the cycle of a single day, different modes may achieve prominence at different times. And generally, goodness clarifies, pacifies the individual, since it motivates joy, wisdom, altruism, kindness. Passion is said to confuse, provoke the individual, invoking qualities of anger, greed, frustration. Ignorance is said to obscure and impede one's life, often resulting in oversleep, indifference, laziness, inertia. So in the day, for example, in the early morning, if one is able to rise early, one can be in the mode of goodness and meditate. At that time, especially when one rises very early, it's excellent time to, the mode of goodness can become prominent at that time. Later on, as we're getting ready for work, going to work, and so many things to do, passion takes over. We come back home, eat something, feel tired, go to sleep. Ignorance takes over. So you can see in one day, all three modes we are affected by. What is the lesson? Understand how the modes work. So first lesson was understand what the modes are. Now understand how they work. They're not constant in their influence upon everyone. Even in one day, they're not constant on the influence on one person. According to our karma, our work, our association, our choice of food, and so on, a particular mode becomes predominant within us. Even our choice of food, if we eat meat, that means a mode of ignorance is prominent within us. If we're eating onion garlic, that means passion is within us. If we're eating fruits and vegetables, then the mode of goodness becomes predominant. So very important to understand this. So let's have a quick look at what are these three modes? What do they do? Goodness, they illuminate the gates of the body with knowledge, right? Because goodness, it means our activities are good, our thoughts are good, intelligence is strong. It frees one from sinful reactions. Passion, intense endeavor, unlimited desires and longings, create attachment. And ignorance is darkness, madness, inertia, illusion, work which is destructive, not according to regulatory principles like that. So these are how we can understand where we are and how they work. So let's look at the next slide. Sunil, would you like to read? Are you better?
Sure.
Okay, good, go for it.
Text 14. When one dies in a mood of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. Text 15. When one dies in the mood of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mood of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Text 16. The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the mood of goodness. But action done in the mood of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mood of ignorance results in foolishness.
Mm.
Text 17. From the mood of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mood of passion, greed develops, and from the mood of ignorance develops foolishness, madness, and illusion. Text 18. Those situated in the mood of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets.
Mm.
Those in the mood of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mood of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds.
So, summary of 14 to 18. Reincarnation is the process by which a soul receives a new material body on the following basis of activities performed in the present body. So Krishna is discussing that. What happens when one dies in a particular mode? Our activities are a result of the decisions we make. Our decisions are ultimately based on the modes which we are being influenced by. Thus, Krishna predicts the future destination of an individual based on predominant mode in their life. In summary, those situated in goodness go upwards to the higher planets. Those in mode of passion live on the earthly planets. Those in ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. So quite a simple analysis of one who is in the different modes. So if we're predominantly good, then heaven is our destination. If we're predominantly passionate, perhaps we'll stay on this planet as human. If we are ignorant, then we'll go down to the hellish worlds. And that includes going down into the animal kingdom, the plant world, like that. So many different things. So which mode are we in? Now, we have done a survey, and I'm thinking we'll do this tomorrow because time is already running out quickly. There's a survey that we produced about, and we can work out which mode we're in. And maybe we'll do this tomorrow. You can have a piece of paper, pen and paper available tomorrow, and you can mark yourselves where you think you are. And this survey can work out where we stand. The idea is to improve from whichever mode we are in to the next mode. So if we're in the mode of ignorance, we can move up to the mode of passion. If we're in the mode of passion, we can move up to the mode of ignorance. Oh, goodness, sorry. So this is something which you may want to think about. We can do that tomorrow because it'll take time. So we continue with the survey tomorrow. So we can finish off this part of the Bhagavad Gita by looking at these next few verses. Sitaram, would you like to read up to the end of chapter 14?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, go for it, Prabhu.
We start here in text 19.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu, go for it.
Abhinandan Prabhu, are you able?
Oh, 1 second. Yes, can you hear me? You can recite now. Yes, recite.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Just 1 second.
Are you hearing me?
You can't hear me, huh? 1 second.
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yes, go.
Text 19.
Yes, please.
When one properly sees that in all activities, no other performer is
At work.
I start again. When one properly sees that in all activities, no other performance at work than these modes of nature, and he knows that the Supreme Lord, who's transcendental to all modes, he attains by spiritual nature. 20. When one's abided being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and the distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. 21. Arjuna inquired, O my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior? And how does he transcend the modes of nature?
Very good. And you can carry on.
22 to 25. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion, who they are present or long for them, when they disappear, who is an unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualification, remain neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active and is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who, looking upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eyes, whose equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike the friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities, such as a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. 26. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and he comes to the level of Brahman. 27. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is mortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is a constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
Very good. So that's the end of the chapter, Gunatraya Purushottam Yoga. So summary of 19 to 27. Although goodness is said to be the most progressive of the three, it still implicates one in the law of karma. So this is the point, Prabhupada. We're still under this karma, law of karma, under the material nature. To become completely free of karmic reactions, one must transcend even the mode of goodness and become situated on the spiritual platform. This is the point. This is only possible by engaging in bhakti yoga with unflinching determination, taking inspiration and support from those who have already transcended the three modes. So this is where we can follow in the footsteps of the great devotees who are already working on the spiritual platform, so on the platform of bhakti yoga. Krishna explains the character of such perfected transcendentalists who enjoy nectar even in this life. So this is what Krishna's making the point of. So lesson 59, understand that performing bhakti is above the three modes of material nature. Very important to understand, because bhakti is so powerful. It can allow us to cross even beyond goodness, even beyond the three modes of material nature. So this chapter is very, very important to understand, because it tells us, it gives us an idea about what these three modes are. It gives us an idea about what influence those three modes have on us. Also, it gives us an idea of where are we when it comes to, are we in Satogun, Rajogun, Tamagun, predominantly? Because remember, these modes fight with each other. So in the morning, goodness will be prominent. Afternoon, passion takes over. Evening, ignorance comes over. So we have to be mindful that what are these three modes? How do they work? And ultimately, how do we transcend, get over these three modes? By doing bhakti yoga. Very powerful chapter, important chapter to understand. Any questions, Prabhupada? Anything you'd like to ask? Very interesting chapter, this one. Anybody, any questions at all? Tomorrow we'll go through the survey, the different activities that we do, and I'll give you an idea of what we're going to do. And have a pen and paper available if possible. So let's take one example. Charity. Right? Let's do this number 2. It's very easy to understand. If we give charity at a wrong time to a wrong person, then that's charity in the mode of ignorance. If you give somebody charity who is like a drunkard person, you give him a pound coin and he goes to the off license and he buys something to drink. That is giving at a wrong time, wrong place, wrong person, because he's just going to increase his ignorance. So we have participated in that. So we are considered to be also giving in the mode of ignorance. If we're giving charity, but we want recognition, I want my name in flashing lights for giving you 5 pence. That's passion, because we want something in return. It's a business transaction. In goodness, if we give at the right time to the right person, without any expectation of return, that's goodness. But that's still going to keep us in this world. Unless we give that charity to the temple, to the Guru, to the Supreme Lord, to please him, that is pure. That will not bind us to this world. That will take us to the other world. So which one do we do? Are we doing this one, this one, this one, this one? So depending on which one we do, we score our marks. And then we do that for all these different categories: food, worship, all the different categories we will do tomorrow. And then we can work out where we are. The higher we score, the worse we are. Yes, Parvin.
You said you talked about the charity.
Yes.
That to be, I'm not telling myself, but some people like their name to be announced, and some people don't want their name to announce.
Yeah.
Even if you've done a big charity, they will say, "Oh,
Nothing.
give my name."
Yes.
Would you say it's good or not good?
Very good to be completely anonymous.
Oh.
Completely anonymous. That's the best thing to do.
So if you do, like, even if you've done a big charity, then
Yes.
they give your name on the announcement. Or are you saying that's good?
No, I think it's best not to, if possible.
Best not to, yeah. That's yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sometimes you want to do, but you don't want to tell people.
That's correct. That's best. You should give in such a way that your left hand doesn't know what your right hand is given.
Yeah.
That's what I'll
thank
do.
you. And we can talk this tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Thank you very much.
I mean, I'm enjoying today's satsang. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna. All right, so let's stop there. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, chapter 14 ki jai.